Hello there, I'm Joran Barre from the Activiti team, and today I'm going to show you a short demo of the newest release of the Activiti Eclipse Designer. I'm going to use a very simplified expense process, which I've also used in a previous screencast. It's not complete, but it will show you how you can use the Eclipse Designer to make your processes. Okay, let's get started. First, create a new activity project. Let's call this one Demo for the moment. In this project, let's create a new BPMN2 process, and let's call it expense process. There you go. As you can see, the Eclipse Designer generates for you a Maven layout. So in the source main resources, you will find the diagrams. So let's get started. So we have a start event, we have a user event for request the refund of the expense. Put it on the same height. As you can see, the editor helps you to put it on to make a nice layout. And for this process, when we have requested a refund, we will have two things in parallel. We will have an accountant who needs to approve it, and one of your managers will need to approve it. So let's first create one for the accountant. Here we go. Assign it to the group accountancy. You can also add documentation here. This will end up in the Activity Explorer UI, or we can reference variables there. You can, for example, say employee has requested a refund of amount, which is also a process variable euro. Okay, add a sequence flow there. And then for the second parallel step, we will need the managers to do it. So let's create a second one, handle requests, but now for the managers. So here, once again, we select groups and we select management. But as you know, managers, they probably won't notice that they have work to do, so we will send them an email before that they do the work that they should check their inbox. So to management@alfresco.com from expenses@activiti.org, subject you have work to do. And then we can add some text, like for example, employee has requested a refund. Okay. Add some sequence flow in between, put them on the same height. Okay. Then create a joining parallel gateway. Here we go. And then for this demo, I'm just going to add an end event here. Of course, in reality, you'll probably have something like a decision here, and if somebody disapproved, then you will need to go back to your employee to ask more details or stuff like that. But for this demo, this is difficult enough. Okay, so let's save it. Let's see if there are problems. And as you can see, there's two problems. So the user task request refund has no assignee. Right, we forgot about it. So for this demo, just add Kermit to the task as assignee. Let's save it, let's see. No, problems are gone. Okay. So one thing still remains. We need to give our process a name. So let's call it expense process, the new and shiny expense process. This will be displayed in the UI. Okay. Let us now generate the BPMN2 XML. Here we go. Whoops, you can open it with the XML editor. And as you can see, this is BPMN2 compliant XML. Also, since last release, we're generating the BPMN diagram interchange information, which means that if you have a BPMN2.0 compliant editor, you will just be able to import this process and it will look graphically exactly the same. Okay, so we now have a process. Let us now create a unit test for it. So select activity, generate unit test, and as you can see, it generates for me two files. First of all, we have a very simple activity configuration which uses a standalone in-memory database, and it generates for us a JUnit for test case. As you can see, a lot of red here, but this is because I just need to fetch some dependencies. So just enable Maven dependency. As you can see, there is a pom.xml generated when you create the project. So what happens here? So we have a test. Before the test, we will deploy our process, and we will just start a new process instance and then just write something to the screen that it exists. Just let's see if it works. Okay, it works. Not very sexy at the moment, so let's make it a bit more intelligent. Remove the system.out. So we needed two variables, which was employee. Let's fill it in with Kermit. And secondly, we will needed the amount. And we'll just add something like 1, 2, 3 here. So when the process starts, you will have one task available. So let's just do it quickly. So you will have one task. We request it through the task service of Activiti, create a task query, single result, and we assert that the name is requests refund. Here we go. So this should just work. Here we go. Run it again. Okay, green. So our test works. Of course, this is very simple, and in reality, you will need to add much more tests to test all the corner cases of your process. But since this is a simple process, I'm going to stop here. Now we want to have this process in our Activiti Explorer UI. So I've prepared two forms for that. So I have two HTML forms. They are very simple. Just you won't need to input your name. It will be saved into the employee process variable, the amount of money, motivation. And likewise, for handling the refund, I have a very simple form. We just ask, do you approve, yes or no? So let me now add this form key to my tasks. So the first was requests.form, and the second one was handle refund.form, and the same for the second handler request. Okay, let's save it. Export to BPMN XML. Okay. Going to close it all. So now I'm going to catch my diagram, copy it, put it here on in my folder. Now I'm going to create a zip file from it. Here we go. Then now I can just go to Activiti Probe. Need to log in. Deployments, uploads, and then I'll select the file, archive.zip, upload, there we go, upload it. Go to Explorer, log in, and let's look for our new and shiny expense process. Let's start an instance. Since I'm Kermit and the first task was assigned to Kermit, I will have the request refund. My name is Kermit, amount is 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, task was successfully completed. Since I'm Kermit and I'm also part of the management group and the accountancy group, you will see I have now two handle request tasks, as was to be expected from the process. So, whoops. So, just let's claim it. And claim it. As you can see, I added the description to the first task. You can see that he resolved the variables. So Kermit has requested the refund of 12360. You can say yes or no. And then the process is completed. As you might remember, I also had to send an email before the task for the managers was created. So I have a very simple application here. It just catches the email as is, and you can see that there's an email coming in. You have work to do, and it's saved to my desktop. So let us take a look. And you can see Kermit has requested a new refund. Okay, this was it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.